Welcome to the Daily Shift Story, where every story isn't just told, it's felt. A place where real struggles meet real hope. And sometimes, all it takes is one story to shift your perspective, or maybe even your life. Today's story is about a young boy named Mohan, a boy who lost everything in a flood: his home, his parents, his sense of security. But what he never lost was hope. This is a story of pain, resilience, and the fight to create a better tomorrow, not by waiting for a miracle, but by becoming one. So sit back, listen with your heart, and let Mohan's journey remind you that destiny favors those who dare to rise. Asterisk: a long time ago, before cities were filled with skyscrapers, traffic, and bright lights, there was a small village surrounded by green fields and open skies. The people there lived simple lives, close to the soil, close to nature. In one corner of that village, under the shade of an old tree, sat a 10-year-old boy named Mohan. Mohan wore clothes that were torn and faded. His skin was dry from the sun, and his eyes looked older than his years. He had known hardship all his life. Born into a poor family, his mother and father worked as laborers in nearby farms and construction sites. They earned just enough to feed their small family twice a day, no more, no less. Despite their poverty, there was love in their little home. Mohan's parents may not have had money, but they gave him care, values, and hope. He loved sitting by the fire at night, listening to his mother sing folk songs and his father tell him tales of courage and honesty. But one day, everything changed. Heavy rains began pouring down, stronger than anyone had seen in years. The river that flowed beside the village began to rise, and by nightfall, the water entered the homes. People tried to escape, but the flood came like a beast, wild and unstoppable. Mohan's home couldn't survive. It collapsed in the water, and in that chaos, he lost both his parents. When the water finally receded, the land was broken and so was Mohan's world. He was alone, no family, no home, no food. Just a 10-year-old child with nothing but grief and uncertainty in his heart. For a few days, the villagers offered him food and a place to sleep. But gradually, people became distant. Some said, "He's just a poor orphan. What will become of him?" Others said, "He'll end up begging on the streets." And slowly Mohan realized something heartbreaking. He was truly on his own. But even at that age, something inside him refused to give up. With no options left, he decided to leave the village. He had heard stories about the city nearby. He didn't know what he would find there, but he hoped he might be able to work, to earn, to live with dignity. So, one morning, barefoot and hungry, Mohan walked miles towards the city. But the city was nothing like the village. It was loud, crowded, and harsh. People rushed past him, cars honked without care, and no one stopped to look at the boy sitting by the roadside with tired eyes and an empty stomach. For days, Mohan begged for food. Sometimes he ate, sometimes he didn't. He slept on footpaths, covered himself with newspaper when it got cold, and cried silently at night. He hated begging. He hated the looks of pity, the insults, the feeling of being invisible. Then one night, as he sat near a tea stall, an older man approached him. The man wore simple clothes, but there was something kind in his eyes. He asked, "Why are you sitting here, son? Why are you begging?" Mohan replied, "I don't have any family. I have no choice." The man sat down beside him and said something Mohan would never forget. "Son, destiny only helps those who try to change it. If you are ready to work hard, I can show you another path. Mohan was surprised. Why would a stranger want to help him? But there was something honest in that man's voice. He hesitated, then asked, "Who are you?" The man smiled. "My name is Ram Sharon. I work in a small shop nearby. If you want to learn, I will teach you." Mohan had nothing to lose. So, he agreed. Ram Sharon took him to a small general store, where things like sweets, snacks, and household items were sold. He told Mohan, "If you work here, you will not earn much at first. You'll have to sweep the floors, wash dishes, carry loads, but it will be your hard-earned money, not charity." Mohan nodded. The very next day, he began working. At first, it was tough. He wasn't used to waking up early, lifting heavy things, or working in the heat. His hands hurt, his back ached. But something had changed. Inside him he now had a purpose. At the end of that first day, Ram Sharon gave him 5 rupees and a hot roti. It may have been a small amount, but to Mohan, it was the most valuable thing he had ever received. He looked at the roti, held it close, and smiled. It was his first meal earned with his own effort. Ram Sharon watched him and said, "Hard work tastes different, doesn't it? This is just the beginning. Your journey starts now." From that day on, Mohan worked with even more dedication. He didn't complain. He cleaned arranged items, delivered goods, and learned to handle money. Whenever he got free time, he asked questions. He learned how to talk to customers, how to manage the shop, how to be polite yet firm. One day, when the shopkeeper was away, a customer came in and asked for a kilo of flour. Mohan had never done that part of the job before, but he gathered his courage, weighed the flour, packed it, and handled the payment. When the owner returned and saw what Mohan had done, he smiled. "You're learning fast, boy. If you keep this up, you'll go far." Those words lit a fire inside Mohan. He now dreamed bigger. One night, he asked Ram Sharon, "Do you think one day I can have my own shop?" Ram Sharon looked at him with pride. "If you continue to work hard, with honesty and patience, nothing is impossible, but dreams require sacrifice." Mohan didn't have money to start anything, so he took on more work. Ram Sharon introduced him to a vegetable vendor who needed help in the mornings. So Mohan started waking up before sunrise. He helped sell vegetables on a cart in the early hours and worked at the shop during the day. Rain or shine, cold or heat, he never missed a day. He saved every single rupee, and one day, with the help of Ram Sharon and a few kind people, Mohan bought a small tea cart, his own. He decorated it with care. Clean glasses, fresh tea leaves, and a board that read, "Mohan's Chai, made with hard work." The first time he served tea to a customer, tears welled up in his eyes. He had come from begging on the streets to owning something of his own. People began to notice. His tea was good, his service better, and slowly, his cart became popular. He expanded. He added snacks, then hired another young boy like he once was. He began teaching other orphans how to work and earn. In a few years, Mohan's cart turned into a small tea shop, then a bigger one. He built a life not just for himself but became a source of hope for others. He now had a home. He had savings. He had respect. But most of all, he had self-belief. People who once said orphans have no future now brought their children to him for work and training, and Mohan, the boy who had once sat hungry on a street corner, now helped others rewrite their own destinies. Moral: destiny doesn't favor the lucky, it favors the determined. When you decide to rise, no flood, no pain, and no failure can stop you. So friends, this was the story of Mohan, a little boy who lost everything in a flood, yet never gave up. He faced the harshest realities of life alone, but with courage, honesty, and hard work, he not only survived, he rose. He built his life from the ground up. No support, no guidance, just faith in himself. And that faith was enough to change everything. Let this be a reminder to all of us. No matter how broken your life may feel, no matter how dark the road seems, if you refuse to give up and keep moving forward, even the hardest days will pass. Destiny doesn't choose you, you choose your destiny. If this story touched your heart, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who needs motivation today. And don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Shift Story for more powerful, true life stories that inspire. Hit the bell icon so you never miss the next story that might just change your life. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and always believe in the power of your journey. This is the Daily Shift Story, where every story has a lesson. Take care and stay inspired.